I like to say it's like a meeting point. You can actually put any data on here that you want to. So you can draw in different data sources if it has a geographical context to it and if it's useful as a geographic one. So I was having a look at different data sources that we had here. On this one, I pulled in a couple of the local bus routes that are used by some of the schools. So this is a potential bus route that we designed to get to those kids that live on the coast. But we have widgets that are literally press, drop and drag widgets, so saying how easy it is to use. Okay. And you can overlay this, print this off, go and have a talk to the bus company and say whether this is potentially doable or not. I've pulled in data that's come off the transport websites around Brisbane, so the Mount Gravatt ones, they're local school bus routes, so they don't belong to the school, but the school children could use these because they go past.
So the routes that Jeanine designs can print out in a report how many parents have children living within 200 metres of that route who match your profile, so you can get a realistic estimate of how many families prospectively will see the bus. But you can also tell how many kids you actually got enrolled at the school living along those routes. So you can plan a route based on practicalities as well as potential.
Yeah. So it helps the bus company as well. You can say, listen, you get more fares down that street instead of this street.
It's a lot better than guesswork.
Okay.
Yeah, it also has I like to think that the people are looking after their catchment and their community, and it helps if the school is in keeping with, in sync with their catchment and their community, because they're providing for the local children. And sometimes you get catchments where students have to travel really long distances. So if you think about the environment for that, for how many carbon credits you're spending and how much transport you're doing, anything that you can get more children in the local locality going to the local school, it's better for the environment as well. These are a couple of layers that have come from Brisbane Open Data. So there's actually a flood overlay for when we had the floods in Brisbane, which is pretty impressive now. Wow. So you're thinking about, transport logistics. If there was a flood emergency, how do you get the kids home? Practicalities, but equally, are people, when they take risk decisions now, if they live on one side of a border, are they likely to travel across a geographic border on a regular basis? And what risk is involved in that? There's a bushfire overlay, and we did have live bushfire updates for some of the schools on the Gold Coast when the bushfires were on. So the data that's there is amazing. Some of the schools now can get grants for regional access for the regional schools, that if they're in the bushfire area, they get extra grant facilities for their buses. This one was kind of interesting. This is the neighbourhood plan that came from the Brisbane Council and the Brisbane State. And I was just looking at which areas have actually sort of grown in growth, which have actually taken off for the neighbourhoods, because this was back in 2014. Because I was looking at the area down south in Rothwell, and that was actually marked on the plan as a growth zone. So this data was available 6 years ago, but trying to put that in context for your school and looking at where that population growth has been, you start to line up and get historical data that makes sense to people. So yeah, I really love the maps. It's great. They're great fun.